really great experience.
It's a staple of my childhood.
Definitely make it up here.
And Snowfest, let's hear it again for Snowfest.
The community comes out, the tourists come out, and together we just make it the best 10-day experience you could ever have.
Everybody just needs to come to Snowfest and see how much fun it is and how much fun everybody has. My name is Ruth Schnabel. So in the wintertime, I'm retired. In the summertime, I work at the Tahoe City Golf Course.
My name's Doug Hartline. I moved here in 1989 after quitting college because I thought I could pursue a competitive skiing career. Quickly found out that I had to get a job because the kids out here were super fast, and I got into construction, just fell into it, and over the next 35 years or so, I made a career doing that, and in doing too, got really involved in our community to try to make things happen around here to make it a place that people really want to spend time and appreciate.
I've been here 53 years. We moved here in 1972. Had kids at the time that were in elementary school. They graduated from North Tahoe High School, and it's the best place in the world to live. So when we moved here, we bought a store here, and at that time there were only 3 stores in town. So it was a really small community and a very closely knit community. The people who live here live here by choice. Hardly anybody is born and raised here. So the people who live here by choice. They decide to move here. And I think that's really important because the people then are really happy to be here. And if it's not successful for them, they leave. But for the people who stayed here, it was a really closely knit community and the best. When we moved here, we thought we would be here for about 5 years. And then we would go to Washington or Oregon or someplace. And my husband passed away, and I thought, well, it's tough to live here as an old lady shoveling snow, you know. But I didn't leave. My son was living with me at the time, and he passed away. And I thought, now I really have to leave. I love this place. I don't want to leave. I love this place and want to live here till the day I die.
When I got here, again, I moved out here by myself, basically from the Midwest. Just fell in, to the community. I met all the right people at all the right times, and I was embraced by some locals right away that turned me onto the things that mattered in the community. And it's the most important thing you're going to find out as you get older and you connect with things and people in your life is that the community around you, as things develop and in the world in general, the people that you're going to be closest to are the people that you live with. And having an understanding of the people that you're hanging out with and sharing time with really makes a difference, especially now in this world where everybody seems so divided. Having community activities and entities that you can participate in really bring people together and get back to a grounded, this is why we're here, this is what we do, and this is why we all should be getting along. The thing about these mountain communities is they seem very transient, when you first move into something like this. Coming from out of town, you think it's just another group of kids coming from all over the place having a good time, but when you sit down and look around the core of the whole community, we're all here for the same reasons. We love nature, we love people, we love getting after it, having a good time, and all those things really bring people and unite people, bring people together.
So the way Snowfest started was there was a young man in this community who had grown up here, who was the marketing director at Alpine Meadows. He had visited Aspen, Colorado, and they had a festival there, and he came back and went to the Chamber of Commerce and suggested that we start a festival in this community. Snowfest started in the first meeting was in 1981, and at that time, people came here to ski in December and January, and nobody was skiing here in late February and in March. And the whole idea initially was to encourage people to come here in March to ski, and that was very successful. Now, the young man who suggested the idea, he went to the Chamber of Commerce. The Chamber of Commerce put together a meeting of I think there were about 30 people at that meeting. That meeting was on June 20th, 1981. On July 4th, Bob Everson, the young man who came up with this idea, was killed in a boating accident. We had our next meeting in July and decided we had to do it in memory of him, and that's what we did. Snowfest was pretty big. For one thing, we had huge sponsorship. We had a sponsorship with Ford and with Visa and with Budweiser and with Coors. We had a street dance. You know, we had a Mr. Lake Tahoe contest. We had a Miss Sierra Snowfest contest. We had a beer drinking contest, which was really unfortunate because these people would come and just drink as much beer as they could, and then we'd send them home in their cars, which wasn't very good. The parade in Tahoe City, which was always my favorite event, in the 80s was huge. We had a full-grown elephant in the parade every year. John Esquaga, who owned the Nugget in Sparks, he had two elephants as pets. One of them was a full-grown elephant, and the other one was a baby, was a young one. And the big elephant would always be in the parade. We always had the Budweiser Clydesdales. We always had the 6th Army Marching Band. We had a color guard that were on Palomino horse, Marine color guard on Palomino horses that came up from Barstow every year. One year we had the Navy Band. Several years we had the 6th Army Marching Band. I mean, it was huge. Our parade was huge. What I remember most is how tired I was because I would go to work at 8 o'clock in the morning, and then I would go to all of the events, and we had events every night, and I would get home at 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, and I was exhausted. But it was really fun. I think it's really important because the community is completely involved in it. And for instance, all of the girls who at one time either were queen candidates or were queens, whenever I run into them, they remind me that they were a Snowfest queen. And the kids who were in the nursery school kids used to be in the parade, and they tell me they were in the parade. Everybody talks about their involvement in Snowfest and how much they love it, and it totally brings the community together.
Yes, so in the time of me moving here, the first 20, 30 years, it was an annual event that everybody attended, and it was always a lot of fun, but over the years, it started to wane. I think the biggest reason was that the community developed in a way where the ski areas started developing their own base areas. And initially, Snowfest was designed, evolved to be a marketing entity to bring people into the area when things were slow. And they did that. So in about 2019, Ruth Schnabel, who'd been a part of Snowfest from the beginning, since the early 80s, called me up, pulled me aside and said she was looking for some new people to get involved, and I recognized the need. I recognized that it needed to, as a community, it needed to modernize. And So I got involved and made it a point to surround myself with people in our community that have the same passion for it that I do, with the skills that I don't for social media, people like yourself that have skills in marketing and social media and accounting and everything else that it takes. What a lot of people don't realize in all of our small-time community endeavors, events, it takes so much effort to make these things happen. You know, there's so many people behind the scenes, whether it be Commons Beach, music on Commons Beach, or a wine walk, or even any kind of bike fundraiser or a ski fundraiser. There's a bunch of people behind that to make these kind of things happen, and it takes being committed to your community to make our communities thrive. Since I got involved in 2019, and we've developed the team that we have, the board of directors, the people that are involved, every year it's gotten better. And we took a small town, simple little fireworks show that they throw every few years, and we've added live music, and we've added more fireworks and more commitment to it, and more support to the whole thing. So it's become a community event that people thrive to see. We've turned things in town around for every business. You know, so for me, I'm most proud of the energy that we've built in the last 5 or 6 years that support all of our local nonprofits, our student organizations. We've increased our scholarship funds. When I got involved, Snowfest was a 501c6, which is a charitable organization, but you can't write it off, you know. So it took us 2 years, but we turned it into a 501c3, which is a nonprofit that you can support tax deductions. And in doing so, one of my major focuses was turning it from just being a marketing event to being something that could celebrate and bring recognition to as many nonprofits locally as we can. And over the last 2 years, we've supported over 40 local nonprofits every year that individual events support, and our scholarship kids support. There's all kinds of energy behind it. And it really lets people know that come in from outside the community what we're all about, what it takes to make this community thrive, and why we thrive, and why they should help support it. But across the board, I mean, you know, from the Bar Olympics all the way down to the parade in Kings Beach, you know, the energy in each of the events is just amazing. So I enjoy every bit of it.
I think when we started it, we never thought that 45 years later we'd still be dealing with it. I mean, that never occurred to me that it would last that long, and I think it speaks of the community who really wants it, and they have all these great memories. If they grew up here, they all have these great memories of growing up here and being a part of it.
Yeah, the commitment of the people in the community and how much we really care about each other and just having a good time and really supporting each other. I think something that people need to recognize is that small communities like this, especially ski towns, we thrive on our recreational industry, and there are so many options out there worldwide now. You know, you can go to Utah, you can go to Jackson Hole, you can go to these places that have vibrant communities and lots of activities. And if you're looking to have a really expensive ski vacation, you're doing your due diligence. You want to end up in a community where there's something else other than skiing going on. You want to go somewhere where you can recognize how vibrant the community is. You can get out to a restaurant or bar or an event like Snowfest or a music event and really see the community out there and get involved. And so people looking for those kind of activities, they want to know that there's more to it than just jumping on a mountain. So Snowfest overall, so we're a 10-day festival. We had over 55 events this year. We raised money for over 40 nonprofits, student organizations. We have scholarships that go to local students, and just supporting our local businesses as well. There's no better time. The community comes out, the tourists come out, and together we just make it the best 10-day experience you could ever have. And as the future goes, I just want to see it grow to a point where everyone that gets involved understands and appreciates how vibrant this community is, how much love there is for everybody here, and where everyone's welcome. So come and hang out with us. As a whole, I think it's one of the most vibrant, committed, inviting, accepting communities that I've ever ever imagined, and I've traveled all over the world, and I've settled here early on, knowing that the people in Tahoe are a different breed. We appreciate everyone and anyone, and everyone's welcome here. So we have summer events, we've got winter events, but I mean, I think that again, just getting people out and getting people connected to the people that come to visit as well really matters to keep the community thriving.